Hello, my name is Tayo Rodriguez, and today we're designing a Cisco-based web programming system and also determine the functions of the server in networks, as well as determine the differences between static and dynamic routing and identify how the server responds at the client's request. So let's go. Now let's go ahead and put our PCs on the screen. So this activity requires 3 PCs and 4 servers. So we're gonna put that there, and then 2 switches right in the middle, so it's easier for us to connect them. Then we're going to connect all the PCs on the first switch, like so, and our servers in to our second switch. Then we're going to connect both switches together like this. So let's configure our first PC here. This is our first dynamic PC, so hence we're going to call it dynamic 1 and toggle it dynamic like this. We're going to do the same with the second PC and call it dynamic 2 and then toggle it. For our third PC, we're going to call it static because it will be our only static PC right here. And then we're going to put our IP address here, 16.0.19. Then we're going to do the same with, okay, it will be easier if I put it here. And then our IP address will be 90. Then our default gate will be 1, like so. And that's it for our third PC. And then we're going to move on with our first server here, which will be our DHCP server. And then we're going to put our gateway IP here. We'll do the same with fast Ethernet. We put our IP right here. Subnet will spawn like this. Let's go to services. Oh yeah, let's make sure the port status is on. Let's move on here. Let's turn this off, as well as, okay, that's it. And then let's go to DHCP, turn on, make sure this is on, and then put our IP here, 16.01, 16.11 for this, then 100 maybe here. And then this is important, we should click save, so it saves like this. Make sure it's on again, and then that's it for our DHCP server. Let's move on to our DNS server. Let's go to fast Ethernet and configure our IP address here. Subnet mask will automatically spawn. Let's turn these off. Both of this. This as well. It's already off. Email should be also off. And then our DNS should be on since this is our DNS server. Let's put our first address here. Put our IP for this. It will be 20, and then add. Make sure you add it before you add another www and then add it again. Make sure you add it, and then let's move on to our third server. This will be our web server. Path. Let's go to our fast Ethernet and put our address. Here will be 60. Then turn our services. This will stay on. DNS will be turned off, as well as the HTTP and our email. Let's go back to HTTP and edit index. Let's edit this into as well as this one. Like that, and then click save. Make sure it's saved, and then we're going to check if our first PC is correctly alright. If this is your IP here, it means it has worked. There's no errors. So let's check if we're going to make it into our first domain. Let's do it again. So it seems to not be working. Let's check our DNS server. See if it's correct. Yeah, it seems to be okay. Let's check this as well. Edit page. Seems to be alright. It's also on. Okay, let's check if it works through its through its IP. If we search it like this, it's also not working. Interesting. Okay, I seem to have found the problem here. I think I put the wrong IP here. It should be 20. So let's check if it works this time. Let's go to web browser. And yeah, it works. So let's once again answer some questions here. Our first question is what are HTTP, DNS, and DHCP? So let's start with HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. It is used to access and transfer web pages between a web browser and a web server. And then we have DNS, which is domain name system, and translate domain names into IP addresses. So computers can find each other on a network. And then finally, we have DHCP, or Dynamic Host Configuration Protocol, automatically assigns IP addresses and other network settings to devices, so to eliminate the need for manual configuration. Then for our second question here, what is the difference between web design using HTML and Cisco Packet Tracer? So HTML is used to create and design the content and appearance of web pages that users see in a browser. And while Cisco Packet Tracer is a network simulation program used to design and configure and test computer networks. It allows users to maybe simulate devices. Like earlier, we've used computers and servers and switches as well. And it helps us to understand how PCs and network communication work. So, what do we conclude from this activity? Um, firstly, we understood how HTTP, DNS, and DHCP work together in a network. So it helped us understand that DHCP automatically assigns IP addresses and how DNS translates domain names into IP addresses, as well as HTTP allowing users to access web pages. It also helped us configure servers, troubleshoot network issues in the application, which is Cisco Packet Tracer. And yeah, and overall demonstrated the importance of correct networking. We got into a bit of an issue there earlier, but we fixed it by just um tweaking a few things in the IP. So make sure that you put the right IP before testing it, or I guess you should test it so you know if you've done something wrong. And yeah, communication between devices and servers is very important. So this topic is very helpful for me personally. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next laboratory exercise. Thank you.